Ever feel like, completely overwhelmed by technology, like the world's just whizzing by and you're stuck trying to figure out how to turn the thing on,
Yeah.
Well, today's deep dive might just change your perspective. We're exploring a blog post called Tamso Ma Jyotirgamaya, My Journey from Darkness to Light.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, this is not your average tech success story.
Yeah, no, it's truly a unique journey. The author went from never touching a computer until the age of 25
Wow.
to becoming a designer working with AI and even inspiring others to embrace technology.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yep.
No computers until 25. That means no computer classes in school, no dial-up internet at home, no AIM instant messenger. It's a completely different world from what many of us experienced.
Absolutely. And the author even quotes their father saying, "Why do you need to learn typing? Be a learner and that will be enough." It seems this emphasis on learning for its own sake really shaped their path.
So what finally prompted them to dive into the digital world? 25 is pretty late to be starting with computers, especially considering how ubiquitous they are today.
You'd think some major life event or career pressure pushed them, but surprisingly, it was a simple desire to avoid handwriting. They wanted to learn to type. It's fascinating how such a humble motivation sparked such a remarkable journey.
That's incredible. It's like they stumbled into the tech world sideways, almost accidentally.
Yeah.
But then they mention helping others with computers, which is where things start to get really interesting. They talk about unknowingly mastering technology through these everyday acts of assistance. How does this unconventional approach challenge traditional learning models, do you think?
It really highlights the power of hands-on learning and the unexpected benefits of teaching. Explaining a concept to someone else often forces you to understand it on a deeper level. And in this case, it seems the author's desire to help others became a catalyst for their own technological growth.
So we have this fascinating beginning, but there's a definite turning point in their story where they go from helping others to actively seeking knowledge themselves.
Exactly. The author describes it as a conscious decision to embrace technology, not out of necessity, but out of pure curiosity. They talk about wanting to understand this rapidly changing digital world, to be a part of something exciting.
And this shift in mindset is what leads them to dive headfirst into design and creativity. What I found particularly interesting is their mention of traveling to the USA for a program and wanting to integrate indigenous teaching methods with technology. It speaks to a deeper vision, don't you think?
Absolutely. It shows they weren't just interested in the technical aspects of technology, but also in its potential to bridge cultural divides and empower others. This is where we start to see the true meaning of Tamso Ma Jyotirgamaya, lead me from darkness to light.
Yes. The title of the blog post, I was wondering when we get to that. For our listeners who might not be familiar, could you elaborate on the meaning and significance of this phrase?
Of course. Tamso Ma Jyotirgamaya is a Sanskrit mantra from the ancient Indian scriptures known as the Upanishads. It's a prayer for enlightenment, for moving from ignorance to knowledge, from darkness to light.
That's beautiful, and it perfectly reflects the author's journey, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
They went from a place of technological darkness, of not knowing, to becoming a beacon of light, not only for themselves, but for others as well. But I'm curious, how did the technological landscape itself evolve during this period? We're talking about a time before smartphones, before social media, before AI was a household term.
You're right. The changes during that time were monumental. When the author first encountered computers, the internet was still in its infancy.
Right.
Personal computers were becoming more common, but the idea of a connected world of instant communication and access to information at your fingertips was still largely unrealized.
Yeah.
By the time they began actively exploring technology, the landscape had shifted dramatically. The internet had exploded, social media was emerging, and the possibilities of technology seemed almost limitless.
It's incredible to think how much changed in such a short span of time. So we have the initial resistance, the spark of motivation, the conscious embrace of technology, and now this vision for integrating technology with their cultural heritage.
Yeah.
What I find really remarkable is their resilience. They talk about facing those initial struggles head-on, learning step by step, mistake by mistake. Were there any specific strategies or approaches they mentioned that help them overcome those challenges?
What stands out to me is their emphasis on learning by doing. They didn't shy away from getting their hands dirty, experimenting and figuring things out through trial and error. It wasn't about following a set curriculum or achieving perfection. It was about embracing the process of learning, mistakes and all.
It's like they were unknowingly embodying the growth mindset before it became a buzzword.
Exactly. And that mindset seems to have carried them through those early struggles and propelled them forward on their journey.
Okay, so We've covered their early life without tech, their initial encounter, and accidental mastery. Through helping others, their turning point towards a conscious embrace of technology and this beautiful vision for integrating technology with their cultural heritage. But their story doesn't end there, does it? They go from being a learner to becoming a teacher and an inspiration to others.
That's right. And that's what we'll delve into next. This is where we see the true impact of their journey from darkness to light, not just on themselves, but on the lives of others. The author's journey takes a really inspiring turn when they shift from absorbing knowledge to sharing it with others.
And what's remarkable is that their approach to teaching seems directly influenced by their own unconventional learning experience.
Precisely. They emphasize hands-on learning, encouraging their students to experiment, make mistakes, and learn through doing.
It's like they're passing on the torch, empowering a new generation to embrace technology without fear.
And the impact is evident. They proudly share anecdotes about their students, individuals who once dreaded computers, now flourishing as software engineers and tech professionals.
This speaks volumes about the power of mentorship and the ripple effect that one person's passion can create. But I'm curious, what specific techniques did they use to inspire and engage their students, especially those who might have been initially hesitant about technology?
One key aspect they highlight is the importance of connecting technology to personal interests and passions. Rather than presenting it as a dry, technical subject, they strive to make it relevant to their students' lives.
So instead of just focusing on the how-tos, they help students discover why the personal connection that makes learning meaningful.
Exactly. And they also emphasize the creative potential of technology. They encourage their students to see it as a tool for self-expression, whether it's through design, music, or even storytelling.
It's fascinating how their own journey from technophobia to artistic exploration directly informs their teaching methods. Do they share any specific examples of how they incorporate creativity and personal interests into their lessons?
They mention using music production software to teach coding concepts, allowing students who are passionate about music to learn technical skills in a context that resonates with them.
That's brilliant. It turns learning into something exciting and engaging rather than a chore.
And they also talk about encouraging students to use technology to explore their cultural heritage, whether it's through creating digital art inspired by traditional motifs or developing apps that preserve indigenous languages.
This beautifully ties back to their vision of integrating technology with their own cultural background. They're not just teaching tech skills, they're fostering a sense of cultural pride and empowerment.
Absolutely. And this approach seems to be incredibly effective. They recount stories of students who were initially disengaged with traditional learning methods, but blossomed when they discovered how technology could connect to their personal identities and passions.
It's amazing how they've turned the narrative of technology being a cold, impersonal force into something warm, human, and deeply personal. And this leads us to the heart of their journey, the embodiment of Tamso Ma Jyotirgamaya, not just in their own transformation, but in their ability to guide others towards the light of knowledge and self-discovery.
Yes, and it's important to remember the context of the phrase. It's not just about gaining technical skills. It's about seeking enlightenment, about moving from a place of ignorance and fear to a place of understanding and empowerment. And in the author's case, it's also about using technology to connect with one's cultural heritage and to inspire others to do the same.
It's such a powerful message, especially in a world where technology can often feel overwhelming and impersonal. This journey reminds us that technology can be a force for good, a tool for personal and cultural expression, and a bridge that connects us to our own potential and to each other.
And speaking of potential, the author's journey doesn't end with teaching. They continue to explore new frontiers, pushing their own boundaries, and demonstrating that learning is a lifelong process.
Yes, they mention their current work with AI and music composition. This is where we see the full blossoming of their creative spirit, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. They've gone from someone who didn't even touch a computer until their mid-20s to someone who's now harnessing cutting-edge technology to express themselves artistically.
It's mind-blowing. What's fascinating is that they don't present these pursuits as separate from their earlier experiences. Instead, they see them as a natural continuation of their journey, a testament to the idea that learning never stops and that new possibilities are always waiting to be discovered.
And they emphasize that anyone can embark on a similar journey regardless of their background or prior experience. They believe that the key is finding that spark, that personal motivation that ignites a passion for learning.
It's like they're saying, if I can do it, anyone can. And their story makes that belief feel incredibly tangible and inspiring. It challenges us to reconsider our own relationship with technology, to see beyond the fear or frustration, and embrace the potential for creativity, connection, and continuous growth.
And this brings us back to the listener. What about you? Have you ever felt that spark, that pull towards something new and challenging, something that initially felt like a darkness you needed to navigate?
Yeah, it's so easy to get caught up in that, like, I can't or I'm not tech savvy mindset.
Right, right.
But this story really throws those excuses right out the window.
It does. And what's particularly inspiring is that the author doesn't shy away from the fact that their journey wasn't always easy.
Right.
They talk about moments of frustration, setbacks, even times when they wanted to give up.
Yeah, but they didn't. They persevered. And that resilience is a key takeaway for our listeners, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. The author's story highlights the importance of embracing challenges as opportunities for growth.
Yeah.
They even mention a quote from their grandmother: "When you fall, you don't stay down. You learn to get back up stronger each time."
It's that spirit of perseverance that ultimately allowed them to go from like technophobe to tech savvy and beyond.
Yeah.
They transformed their relationship with technology from one of fear and resistance to one of creativity, empowerment, and even artistic expression.
And this transformation is beautifully encapsulated by the Sanskrit phrase Tamso Ma Jyotirgamaya, which, as we discussed earlier, means lead me from darkness to light.
Right. It's a powerful reminder that learning is a journey, not a destination. And that journey, as the author demonstrates, can be filled with unexpected twists and turns, leading us to places we never thought possible.
Absolutely. Their story encourages us to view technology not just as a set of tools or skills, but as a pathway to personal growth, cultural connection, and creative exploration.
It's about finding that spark, that personal motivation, and allowing it to guide us on our own unique journeys from darkness to light.
And who knows? Perhaps, like the author, you'll discover hidden talents and passions you never knew you had. Maybe you'll find yourself composing music with AI, designing innovative apps, or teaching others to embrace the power of technology.
The possibilities really are endless. So as we wrap up this deep dive, we want to leave you with a final thought from the author. The journey from darkness to light is not a solitary one. It's a shared experience, a tapestry woven from the threads of our individual stories. What threads will you contribute to that tapestry? What darkness are you ready to leave behind? And what light are you seeking to embrace? Thanks for joining us.